a fallen aristocrat with no family left to claim him. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall into place. But the real shocker, this man is actually a professor at the academy. The realization hits like a physical blow, leaving him filled with pure regret. He curses his own hesitation, realizing he should have seen through the deception much sooner. Every detail about this man's tragic circumstances was too perfect. It was almost as if it were engineered. This entire persona was a carefully crafted mask built for one specific, dangerous purpose. He couldn't use his true self to infiltrate the academy, so he became someone else entirely. Every letter sent and received under this fake name, they weren't just messages. They were hidden ciphers. A heavy sigh escapes as the weight of the situation settles in. The tension is palpable. A bitter curse escapes his lips. The frustration is building, and things are far from perfect. The realization hits like a physical blow. He feels the walls closing in, facing a fate that seems unavoidable. Regret gnaws at him. A single impulsive decision has triggered a chain reaction of catastrophic consequences. As he examines the cryptic message, a strange detail catches his eye. The language used is anything but ordinary. Something is wrong. The sentences are scrambled, a confusing puzzle that hides a much deeper, more dangerous truth. Then, the true mission is revealed. He must infiltrate the prestigious academy and manipulate its favor. But how far will he go to succeed? The weight of the situation is heavy, and the shadows of the past are starting to loom larger than ever. He stares into the distance, realizing that the threats facing him extend far beyond a single incident. The more he reflects on the recent tragedy, the more unbelievable the truth becomes. How could a high-ranking official of a powerful underground organization fall so easily to a simple train hijacking? He sighs, knowing that dwelling on the fallen is a waste of time. But there is a deeper danger. If his true identity is ever linked to the secret society, everything he's working for will crumble. A single decision can change the course of a mission. For our protagonist, the time for waiting has finally come to an end. He realizes that staying in the shadows is no longer an option. To move forward, he must make contact today. Information gathered from a recent encounter reveals a chilling truth about the secret society's hierarchy, divided into 4 distinct orders. While the first 3 orders are known, the existence of the Zero Order remains a complete and terrifying mystery. Despite the unknown, confirming even a fragment of this truth is a massive step forward in his dangerous game. But a new threat looms. Another operative from the First Order is on the move, and if he knows the truth, the protagonist's cover is blown. Survival is the only priority right now. He must avoid detection at all costs, while secretly hoping a powerful ally wipes out his enemies for him. A shadow looms over the world, driven by a force so immense that even the most powerful figures are trembling. The whispers are spreading. No matter how deep the secrets are buried, they cannot stand against this rising tide of power. The threat is clear. A relentless movement is coming to trample everything in its path. Deep in the shadows, a man sits alone, burdened by the weight of a truth that keeps him on edge, unable to find even a moment of peace. For a brief second, he lets out a breath, trying to push back the mounting pressure. 2 years of hiding, 2 years of careful maneuvering. But the time for leisure is officially over. The stage is set, and the ceremony is about to begin. Stay tuned, because things are about to get much more dangerous. The Grand Academy stands tall, a beacon of prestige and power under the bright morning sun. But beneath the surface of this elite institution, a group of students moves with a hidden purpose, their eyes sharp and calculating. Every movement is watched, and every whisper could carry the weight of a dangerous secret. Inside the massive lecture hall, the atmosphere is heavy with anticipation as the students gather for the day's lessons. But a sudden question breaks the silence. Cutting through the academic calm, a grin spreads across a face as a chilling inquiry is posed. Have you heard? The rumor is spreading, and the truth behind it might just shatter the Academy's peace forever. The news spread through the Academy like wildfire. The group of elemental learners was about to be entrusted to a brand new professor, a new teacher for the second grade. It seemed like a standard change, but something felt slightly off. This wasn't a planned transition. The previous instructor had suddenly and abruptly resigned, leaving a massive void in the faculty. To make matters worse, the drama unfolded right in front of the students. After the former teacher was publicly pushed back by a pupil. As the whispers grew, the attention turned toward a specific student, making the atmosphere incredibly heavy. The student felt the weight of the gaze, wondering if their actions had truly caused this much friction. They claimed they were just a student pointing out a mistake in magic technique, but the implications were much deeper. Rumors began to surface about the new professor's past as a military officer. He has a decorated record, but that doesn't mean he's a good teacher. Or does it? A sudden realization strikes, sending a wave of shock through the onlookers. The truth is finally out. The individual in question is nothing less than a fallen aristocrat. The news spreads like wildfire, leaving everyone questioning what they just heard. A cold, mocking smile plays on the lips of the observer, filled with pure contempt. The atmosphere thickens as the weight of this fallen status begins to settle. With a purposeful stride, the figure moves forward, ignoring the growing unrest. But as the shadows lengthen, one question remains: what is their next move? A new presence enters the room, commanding immediate attention with a simple, formal greeting. The announcement sends a ripple through the class. A new professor has officially taken his place. The students watch in silence, eyes locked on the stranger, sensing that something is different about this man. He explains that while the course correction period is still ongoing, the real changes are just beginning. He warns them not to expect the usual routine. His approach to spell casting is unlike anything they've ever experienced. Forget the textbooks. This man is stripping away the theory to focus purely on raw, practical application. But the biggest shock comes next. This class isn't just for the elite. It's open to everyone, and the stakes just skyrocketed. A single command cuts through the tension like a blade. Silence falls over the room as the instructor raises a hand, demanding absolute stillness. He acknowledges the growing unrest, but his stance remains unyielding. He has no intention of lowering the bar for anyone. The pressure mounts as a student dares to challenge the status quo, questioning why the newcomers are being thrust into such a high-stakes environment. A flicker of a memory crosses his mind, a haunting sense of déjà vu that suggests he's seen this exact struggle in the past. With a gaze that brooks no argument, he declares his duty. To him, true education means testing everyone equally, regardless of their rank. The student tries to push back, struggling to grasp the logic behind such a brutal teaching method. The confusion is palpable as the gap between the instructor's standards and the student's expectations begins to widen. But the instructor isn't here to explain. He leaves them with a chilling invitation. If they want answers, they'll have to survive his next lesson. The atmosphere in the room turns ice. Cold as a chilling warning echoes through the hall. The new instructor stares down at the students, his gaze piercing through their very souls. He makes a bold declaration. He will break their complacent mindsets, no matter the cost. With a smirk that hides a deeper resolve, he issues a challenge that no one expected. He claims he is fully prepared for the chaos he is about to unleash upon this academy. He believes that fewer students mean a more focused and much more intense training ground. But as the students realize the true weight of his words, a terrifying realization sets in. Nobody wants to be part of his class. With a final, cold declaration, the lecture comes to an end, leaving the room in a heavy silence. The instructor stands before the crowd, his presence demanding absolute attention and fear. The students are paralyzed. They know his background is legendary, and his aura is absolutely lethal. Whispers spread through the hall as students struggle to process the sheer weight of his authority. A young student watches closely, her mind racing with unanswered questions and growing curiosity. But before anyone can even think of speaking up, the instructor shuts down any possibility of interruption. The ceremony is abruptly dismissed, leaving the students to wonder what secrets this man is truly hiding. He stood there, lost in thought, realizing that no one would ever suspect the truth. To the rest of the world, he was just another face in the crowd, leaving no trace of the secrets he carries. In a way, this anonymity was a blessing. Without trivial questions, there are no answers to uncover. He could move through the shadows, undetected and unbothered. But a sudden realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. He couldn't just stay hidden, he had to act with a certain level of friendliness. If he didn't show his pride, his true intentions might be exposed. The halls of the prestigious academy were filled with a heavy, silent tension as the new faculty gathered. Deep inside, a single thought raced through his mind, shattering his composure. Was his wildest theory actually becoming a reality? Suddenly, a bright voice cut through his internal chaos, pulling him back to the present. A woman approached with a confident smile, confirming his identity as the newest professor on campus. She introduced herself with grace, revealing that she, too, was a new arrival to this prestigious institution. But as he looked at her, a sense of unease began to creep in. Something about this encounter felt off. He tried to maintain his professional mask, but his hesitation was becoming impossible to hide. She stumbled over her words, leaving him staring at a mystery that was only just beginning to unfold. The tension in the room was palpable as a sharp question cut through the silence, catching the man completely off guard. The woman's eyes locked onto his, her voice demanding an answer that he wasn't prepared to give. With a heavy sigh, he finally admitted the truth, leaving the weight of the situation hanging heavily between them.